Hello, everyone. My name is Matthew Frenkel. I'm the engineering librarian at NYU, and I am here to talk with you about ChatGPT as part of the speed dating with AI programming. Throughout this recording, I will talk to you about a number of issues with ChatGPT. We'll talk about how to access it, fees, creating accounts, and then we'll dive deeply into how you might use it or how the faculty and students that you work with may be using ChatGPT. So to get to the first question here, which is how do we access ChatGPT? I'm currently on the openai.com website. Openai.com, or OpenAI, is the creator of the ChatGPT as well as some other products. They are a not-for-profit organization, and ChatGPT has become one of their most popular products over the last few months. To to access ChatGPT, you do need to sign up, and you'll see right at the top here there is a sign up button. If you click on this, you will have to create an account using your email address. It's fairly straightforward. I already have an account, so instead of hitting the sign up button, I'll come back here and I will use the login button. You'll see when you log in that you have options to access a number of different OpenAI products, ChatGPT, DALL-E, and API. For the point of our session today, we're only going to be talking about ChatGPT, but you can learn more about either of these other products. When you click on ChatGPT, it will take you to the ChatGPT interface that you can see right here. Just to give you a brief overview of the interface, there's, an area where you can enter a query, a question that you want to ask it. And what's really important to know about ChatGPT is ChatGPT is a product designed to take a text-based input and give you a text-based output. It's supposed to be able to interpret natural language responses or questions and give you natural language responses back. So you type into this just as you'd talk to any kind of chat bot and get answers. But ChatGPT is a neural network that's been trained on a huge corpus of information from the internet, from books, for the equivalent of something like 300 years worth of training time. So it's very powerful in its ability to respond to nuanced questions. When we look at the interface that's going on here, one thing that I think is really important to point out, this is currently the free research preview that's downloaded here that you can get access to by just creating an account. And there's some really nice information here. There's a disclaimer about that the information may not always be accurate, but that there also is this link here to the current notes on the current release. OpenAI is updating continuously. You can see release notes from different dates, and you can see whichever version it is that you might be currently working with when you're logged in here. Now, as I mentioned before, this is a free version, right? You can create an account and access ChatGPT for free, but you'll also notice here at the bottom left, there is a button here to upgrade to Plus. And if you click on it, you'll see that there is an option for ChatGPT Plus, which costs $20 a month. It provides for you a little bit better availability if there's high demand on the website, potentially faster response times. If they introduce new features, they'll give you better access to them. So it's available. One of the things I actually really like about ChatGPT Plus is that when you're asking a question, you can actually choose which of the models. ChatGPT has several models, such as 3.5, 4.0, the newest model, and you can actually pick which model you want to address the question, which is very useful from a research standpoint if you're interested in such an avenue. The other nice thing that you'll see here is a history of questions that you've asked ChatGPT in the past. These are logs of the whole conversations that you might have been having with ChatGPT. So you can click back into these at any point in time if you are interested in continuing a conversation, if you want to pick up where you might have left off with something. So again, a neat tool that ChatGPT offers. So now let's start diving into the actual uses, the potential uses that you might have for ChatGPT. I've preloaded a few questions here just for the sake of time in this recording. But as I mentioned before, the purpose of ChatGPT is that it is a natural language input and natural language output model, right? It's supposed to be able to take a question that you would ask and give you a hopefully accurate response to that question. So I tried to simulate a few questions that we might see as engineering librarians or librarians working in STEM in general, to highlight both its functionality, but also some of its flaws. So as a graduate student, I studied whispering gallery mode resonators, and I asked ChatGPT, could you recommend articles for me to gain a better understanding of whispering gallery mode resonators? And it responds very affirmatively that it can do this. And you'll see here that we get a number of articles being recommended. And if we look very carefully, we'll notice that these citations look really good, right? We have a nice title. We have the authors in this article. We have even what the article is providing, or what it says it's providing, and where this article was published. Now, one of the dangers of ChatGPT is that it is the algorithm is trying to predict the text that should come next. And so it's not necessarily pulling this citation from a resource, it is writing it on its own. And if we actually take this title and we do a Google Scholar search of this title, we will not find the article. Now, we will see this author pop up, we will see the co-authors pop up, but we will not actually find an article with this specific title. If we go to the Journal of Optical Society of America B, Volume 28, Issue 3, published in 2011, we can find that that is an accurate volume and issue of this journal. But if we search it for whispering gallery modes, we'll see that the word whispering gallery only pops up once in this issue, and it is not by that author, and it does not have that title. So ChatGPT has, for all intents and purposes, created a citation for an article that doesn't exist in a journal it could have been published in with authors who could have written it. So this is one of the big dangers to using ChatGPT in some cases. I also checked the second citation here and found an article with this title by different authors. When asked, telling ChatGPT citation 1 does not exist, it apologized for the confusion and says it doesn't have access to external links, and so it can be wrong. This is one of the potential drawbacks and dangers of using ChatGPT, and something you should know about in case any of your faculty members, any researchers you're working with are using it and potentially looking for sources that way. They may be getting incorrect information. On the other hand, if I ask ChatGPT to explain to me what an optical whispering gallery mode resonator is, it gives me a very nice explanation that goes through the history, that goes through important concepts about the shapes of them, the uses of them, how they're measured. And this can be very useful background information. So it is very capable of providing good insights into a topic, but it also can provide wrong information. So when using ChatGPT, you have to be prepared to check its work. You really don't want to ever take what it's doing word for word. One of the great uses, or one of the ways I think we're going to see ChatGPT being used a lot in the future, is in helping us and helping faculty and helping students with understanding of materials. You could use it to help you design lesson plans. You can use it to help you build tests or worksheets. You can use it, students may use it to actually try to answer questions on tests. One of the potential downsides here. But what you can see here is I've asked it this question: can you help me develop the prompt for mechanical engineering PhD students to introduce the concept of ethical research? And what it does is it gives me a potential idea for kind of a workshop or exercise on how we might look at ethical research. At first glance, this if you read through this, the details of this workshop or exercise are very vague, right? They're not to a specific example, but they are accurate, right? This is something you could ask students to do, just not around a specific case. So then I followed up with, could you provide me a specific example relevant to mechanical engineering? And it does. It says, hey, let's look at ethical considerations in autonomous vehicle design. And it starts talking about different, considerations: the safety, the privacy of data security, the environmental impact, right? So it can be very useful to us as librarians, potentially for helping us build workshops, build lesson plans, build slide decks, all sorts of different things. ChatGPT also excels at coding. So if you need help with coding, this is one of the great uses of it. You could ask it to help you write HTML code or JavaScript or LaTeX code. There's a lot of different ways that it's very good at coding. Lastly here, hopefully it will pop up. I asked ChatGPT, how would you explain yourself to engineering librarians? And it gave me some of its potential uses in helping to answer reference questions, in research assistance, subject matter expertise, that it's available 24/7, and that it can even help with language translation if needed. So this is a brief and quick overview of the functionality of ChatGPT, and hopefully I will be able to answer any questions at the session that you might have. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to the rest of the conference with all of you.